Good morning. We are here again. We are going to have some fun today. Alright, so what do I've got? I've got translucent, white translucent actually, by Primo. I have purple. I think this is navy blue because I wanted a dark blue. I wanted a light blue, so I got some turquoise. And I got something called Twinkle Twinkle, something I have not used in a very long time. But now I'm thinking of changing my mind, not doing navy, but doing ultramarine. This might be a little too dark. Let me switch colors real quick. Alrighty, all I found was a big container of ultramarine, so I have to use that. Alright, so we're going to be using 1, 2, 3 colors with a little bit of twinkle in there, so I'm not going to cut out too much. And basically we're going to try to make like something galaxy looking, right? So let me kind of soften up this translucent. And then I was going to use alcohol ink, which might actually look good too. But I'm going to try this one with just a little bit of colored clay to tint it. And this is really crumbly. So I'm going to hit pause real quick, guys. And I'm going to try and uncrumble the stuff. Usually Primo doesn't get crumbly on me, but it is cold outside. I do have the heater running. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but we're going to go ahead and make a couple slices of this, and then I'll come back. This is going to be an easy video, guys. Okay, so we got a little bit of this kind of done the way we want it to do. But all I'm doing is taking like a trace of each color. Right, so this is the aquamarine, and that's basically all I'm going to do with the blue, the turquoise, and the purple. Okay, we just want a little bit of a tint, but I really didn't want to pull out alcohol ink. And if it's too dark, you can add a little bit more translucent. So with just what I did now, I'll show you what this is going to look like. As a bunch of translucent hits the floor, because it's still real crumbly. Alright, well, I didn't think it would take this long. I'm thinking of, like, if I were to use alcohol ink, what would be the difference? Oh, I don't really care for the alcohol ink here. Or not alcohol ink, I'm not sure I like the ultramarine either. But that's what I chose. Okay, so this could still be a starry night, I guess. I'm trying to think, if I want to add a little bit more translucent, will it change that color? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in half, because this is going to end up being a swirl. Alright, so there is our aquamarine. Wow, big difference. Big difference with the translucent. I wasn't expecting it to turn more gray. But anyways, I'm going to do that on a couple of these, or actually on all of them. And I will come back when I have these strips made, and we'll go from there. Guys, so this is the only color that I really liked, and that was the purple. Okay, that is the turquoise. And that is the aquamarine. So I thought, okay, let's do this again. All right. And we're just going to make sure we've got 3 equal parts. I know it's not going to be as big as those, but that's okay. Because you know me, I usually make just a few things and then I don't make anything with it again. So, what would be a good blue to use with this? Or a good purple? Now, I don't want green, right? I have a sailboat. I know that there's got to be a turquoise. Okay, this is really pretty. This is vineyard. Oh, but vineyard's going to have a little bit of red in that, so I don't want vineyard. Alrighty, well. Okay, so here's a turquoise. I think that's the color I want to use, right? And it's such a small piece. I don't know how much I want to put in this. There's a turquoise. And then we're going to try, I don't think there's a cobalt. Oh, well, there's an amethyst. Is that going to have red in it though too? Oh, no, that's really pretty. That's a really pretty one. Okay. And then all I want is a darker blue. And that, I'm not sure I have anything like that. I don't think there's a cobalt. I have a denim. That might be an ugly grayish blue. I got a lot of blues. Oh, look at that cobalt. All right. So there's our cobalt. All right. So we didn't put a whole bunch on there. But I don't want a whole bunch in there. So now we got the 3. So what do we have? Turquoise, cobalt, and oh my gosh, what was this? Amethyst? Amethyst. So I'm going to run these through the pasta machine, and let's see if they give us a little bit better color. Be right back. All right, so these are the difference. So this was just using regular purple, which isn't the same color, so I can't really compare them. But they just seem more vibrant here. This is a turquoise. That's a turquoise. And then that was the cobalt. No, I think this was actually the turquoise. And then that was the cobalt. So we're going to stick with the alcohol inks. See this stuff right here? These are probably going to be core. Okay, so let's finish this up. So I want the translucent to really show up. So I'm going to leave these at a 0, okay? And that's the thickest setting that I have. But I want to make these even. I hope I got enough to make them even. Okay. Okay, got it. A little mushy maybe. I don't know. Didn't cut through that one very well. They're right under me. I seem to be okay by putting the pressures on, but they get far away, and I guess my hand isn't on it very well. Okay, so now we are also going to highlight these with the coordinating color. Okay, so this right here is going to be turquoise. And on the turquoise, I'm going to run this at a number 3. Okay. And then I was thinking of putting them back in the pasta machine and running it through another 1. Or at the thickest setting, actually. But I'm afraid that it'll make my swirls way too thin. So I'm going to have to figure out a way that I'm going to do this to where I don't affect it. I'm just going to have to roll it with a roller until I get a really good size, I guess. I don't know yet. I planned it out, but I didn't plan it out, if that makes sense. Okay, we're going to put the turquoise right on this blue here. I'm sitting here thinking that I might want to put some silver foil in here. Give it a little bit of sparkle. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with the ultramarine and the same with the purple at a number 3. Wow. This ultramarine is wonderfully soft. I love it when it's soft. I had to open up another translucent because that other one was just really crumbly. So I just didn't want to waste my time trying to condition it. So I just opened up a new pack. And yes, it made a huge difference. Okay, so that's that. And then all I need is a purple. Just kind of peel the chunk off of it. I didn't realize how much red is in actual purple. And do I have enough? I should have enough. But I'll go a little more. Be a little more patient here. Wait for the pool guy to show up. And then, you know, that little guy I have over here is going to start barking. But it's still kind of early, so I'm hoping he doesn't show up for a while. Okay. So now we've got our 3 colors. So let me find some silver foil. And I clean this out so I don't really know where I put any of my foil. There it is. Okay, well, I've got gold. I don't want gold. I want silver. And I have absolutely no silver in here. Oh, look at that. Found a little piece. Oh, we just played with this stuff the other day. Alright. My workbench is like completely destroyed all over again. It's just so funny how fast I do that. Okay, and I'm not putting it everywhere. I'm just putting little pieces here and there. You think this silver foil is hard to work with. You're using it on glass. No, not this. So just regular silver foil does not work on glass. You have to get 99% pure. And when you're using the flame, it just seems to blow all over the place. But I love using silver in my beads. Alright. I think we're good there. Okay, so now for the final thing that I wanted to do, which I think is also going to be the base of the bead, is Twinkle Twinkle. Okay, and all Twinkle Twinkle is a black with a bunch of glitter in it. And on this, we're going to make it at a number 5. So we don't want a real thick piece of this. Well, and I haven't used this stuff in ages. This clay is probably 4 or 5 years old. And I can't believe that it's actually still soft. That's awesome. Alright. So let's see if we can get 3 cuts out of this. With my luck, probably not. I've got this at a number 5, if I didn't mention it. I put that right on top. And then all we're going to do is basically make a jelly roll. That's it. That was our plan today. Okay. I'm going to hold on to those because I think that's going to be our base bead as well. Okay, so the bottom. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, is I like how thick this is, right? So if I put it through at a number 1, it's just going to make these so thin, and I don't want to make them that thin. I know, I'm sitting here going, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Okay, so I'm going to try and do the same thing for all 3. I'm not going to take them down too thin. Alright, I'll show you what we're going to try and do here. It's 1, a 3, and a 5. I'm just going to very slowly roll this out. So that's 2, 3, and 4. And yes, I have an air bubble right there. Okay, so it didn't thin it too much, but it did thin it. Do the same on this. Going slow, and I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure down. Okay, so that's pretty close, right? Nope, I want like that. Okay, so now we're going to do the same very lightly, and we're just going to roll it out. Okay. I want to make this long now. How thin am I making this? I don't quite know yet. I think we're almost there. I'm also thinking of adding a very, very thin coat of that twinkle twinkle to the areas right there. Is it really going to matter? I don't know, because these are going to be cut on the side. And they're literally going to be on a twinkle twinkle base. So I may not need to worry about that. Alright, I think we got enough. Okay, just like a couple areas right here. And it'd be really thin. And I'm talking like a number 7 thin. Just to add what's missing. Yeah, it's a really thin sliver here. Not sure that's really going to help me much, but it wasn't ideal. Alright. Alright. If it still gives me problems doing this, I'm just going to quit. Okay. Okay, so let's make sure we're the same size. Okay, and on this, I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to kind of put a little bevel in here. And I wanted an even bevel. And we're probably going to do the same on this side too. Now we're just going to roll it up. Okay, so I don't know why some of that black is peeling right on the edge there. Okay, so that's basically our cane. Now the thing is do I want to put it on a black base or on a lighter base? If I have a black base, right, the blue and the purple is going to be really dark. If I put it on a bluer base, okay, I might have to just make 3 beads here. Okay, and see how I got some of the black off of this? I'm just going to cover this. I'm going to cover it with the number 7 again. Just because The ends are always slated for waste, but yeah, we're just going to add a little bit more. And it is soft. So we'll see how easy it is to cut into this, right? So I'm going to make two different colors. I think I'm going to do a base of white and a base of black, just to give me an idea of what this is going to do on top of it. Okay, so we're just going to leave it just like that. Okay, so there's basically our slice. So it's pretty dark as it is. But the translucent is really small, which I didn't think that was going to happen to that extent. But alright, so I'm just going to take some white at the thickest setting, and I'm just going to make 2 beads out of this, just to see what it looks like, right? So we're going to start with a big chunk of that, and we're going to take this Twinkle Twinkle, and we're going to add that in there too. Yeah, we need a little bit more. All this clay is soft today. Okay, so we're going to do a black one. And all I'm going to do is turn it into a circle or into a round ball, right? Alrighty, and now we're just going to cut some very thin slices off of this. I don't know how easy that's going to be. I should find one of my good blades, but... And I'm not lining them up. I'm just kind of putting them wherever. Because when I line them up, they never work. Okay, we're going to keep that just in case we need that little piece. Actually, I can put that right there. Okay. My stomach is making noises, and I had a sandwich already. I don't know why it's acting like I'm starving. Alright, so you could have a little white peek out if you want. I don't want any white peek in it. There's no white in Galaxy. Okay, so now And you know that I could make these round, and I'll show it to you round, but I'm going to finish it off with a lentil. Because I always do. I'll have to show you some beads I made. There's two major people in the United States that used to create brass presses for lampwork beads. And they're just like gone. I mean, their websites are still up, but the people that produced it for them are no longer producing for them. So I don't know why they don't take their website down, because they're not selling. So I've had to go to either Germany is one company, Belgium was the other, and she stopped too. So now I can't even get any presses from her. So we have Germany, Belgium, and we have one in the UK. But there's another guy in the UK that just makes brass tools. So there's a really cool brass tool that he had on his site, and I ended up buying it. I'll have to show you the beads that came out of it. I'm not a pro at the press yet, because yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit of practice to get the right amount of glass to make your beads when you use a roller or a press. So I'm not quite there yet. Okay, so on this Twinkle Twinkle, since it's Twinkle Twinkle, right? I'm just going to put these wherever, right? Because I don't need to cover the whole bead with this, because I want some of that Twinkle Twinkle to show up. Actually, I got that little piece right here. And I'm not sure if I need it, but we're going to set it there anyways. So this is going to be a little smaller, just because I'm not using all of it to cover it. I hear Jake trying to bark. So get ready. Okay. So to try and make this into a lentil, it's kind of hard because you don't know how you want it to face. And I didn't make it in a complete circle before I made it into a lentil. So that's always a mistake. Okay, so make sure you get it into a circle. Because if you don't, then you're not going to have a really nice round lentil. So we're going to try that one more time. We're going to go slow and easy. See, now I have an egg shape. So just go one side, the other side. Just keep switching directions on it. Okay. Yeah, I think doesn't like me today. Or the clay is really soft and it's just squishing everywhere. I don't know. But that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to go throw these in the oven. Okay, so this one's over black. This one's over white. And the only way we'll be able to tell right now is there's more of those. So let me go throw these in the oven. We'll come back. Yeah, I still can't get this round. But you know what? It's just a demo. So I don't care. We'll make more if it turns out the way I want it to. So I'm going to throw these in the oven and we'll be right back. Almost left without showing you that press I was talking about. And of course, the pool guy just showed up. So you're going to hear Jake. I shut my door. I don't know if it'll drown him out. But anyways, let me show you this shape. So it works best when you have silver glass, because you get all kinds of these really cool colors that come out. So I practiced with a few of them. These are still on the mandrel. I have not cleaned out the bead release from them yet, so they're not going to look entirely fantastic, but they'll be okay. Okay. So this is a silver glass that turns pink with like these weird hues through them. You really can't see the great design. And then I tried a glass called Aura, which gives a really light gold if you do it over clear. Basically what you're doing is you're adding more fire than oxygen. So you can see how it's got like that gold shimmer to it. And it's really hard to show you this without it being on white or something. Okay, so this is, I think you can see the gold in there, right? That one's a little bit more of a purple. But as you can see, I haven't quite gotten used to the shape yet. So there's some areas that I over pressed, and so you got some kind of a lip to it. Normally you would burn that off, but I was afraid if you burn that off, you start smoothing out your design, and I didn't want to do that. So that one's a really good one right there. I like that one. And then the other color I used was Iris. Nope, this is not Iris. This is Echo. But can you see the design in the actual bead? It's kind of got like a spiral design. These are so cool. And then the last one I tried was Iris. And Iris gives you like a oil slick. And as you can see, I kind of screwed up on the end. I didn't have the Iris go all the way to the edge. And these again, I over pressed. But for the first time, it worked out pretty good. I'm going to make more tonight. Try and get a setup on my Me and the Mutts page. And these beads will probably go up before I see you again. So the reason I made these little spacers is I have a red set that I made. And I made red spacers, and I think it's too much. So these are these beads that I made. And they're basically red with white and a little bit of black. And see how I have the red spacers? I think that might be too much. So I'll have to see if I like the black better, or the white, or even the gold would make nice Christmas beads. So that's what I'll be working on tonight. So alrighty, those galaxy beads are now in the oven. I am going to take this time now to clean up this workbench and get it ready for our next video. So we'll talk to you guys later. See you soon. Bye. Guys, so we're cleaning beads. We just took these out of the oven. So this is that one I made the other day with the funky leaves. Too much yellow, if you ask me. I think it's too much yellow. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to add so that there isn't so much yellow. But anyways, that wasn't anything because it was ugly leaves and I wasn't going to use it. So as of today, this is the one obviously on black. Okay, and this is the one on white. And I really like the white better because it really shows through. But I think what excuse me, hiccup. What I'm going to do next time is when you take your cane, which I've already put away. No, I didn't. I've got it right here. I have not wrapped it yet. Oh, I got the hiccups. So I will try and calm them somehow. All right, so let's just make this as thin as we can, right? So I think what we're going to do is, even that I have it really thin, you're going to stretch it like that with your hands and get it like paper thin. Okay, that way it'll probably help to cover this a little more, a little bigger. But that white's really going to show through. So we'll do another video maybe, and because I still want to make some more flower beads. So we might put some of these together as well, but I really do like it. I just want it to show up a little better. And without having, without having that black, I like this because of the fact that it's given me a lot of the sparkle. So I'm still going to want to cover up all the white, but I don't want to have to add little strips in between, basically. Like over here and over here. I just want it like that. So whether I overlap them instead, I may end up doing that. So we'll work on those, but I just wanted to come back and show you them. Obviously, they haven't been they haven't been sanded, they haven't been buffed. But when you do, okay, that's when these beads are going to be awesome. Look at that shine. Just by putting a little bit of water, that'll look just like that when you buff them. And so from there, which is to adding some sanding and buffing, you're really going to get like the depth of the bead. So I can't wait to do these, and I will see you later. Bye.